Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Sherry here, and today I'm going to talk about headscarves. Before Christmas, well, I was telling you in my last video how I was going to try and finish up my projects that I had started before Christmas, or things that just were seasonal, trying to get those things finished. So I came across this bag that a friend of mine had given me. Her sister is going through chemo, and she needed some scarves, headscarves made. Every time I turn on the camera, I get a frog in my throat. So she gave me a bag of fabric and 2 patterns, and I'm going to see if I can put picture up of them because you're not going to be able to see that. So McCall's patterns, they're no longer available on their website. I'm pretty sure you can still get them on eBay or Etsy, but I think these are the type of patterns that would be passed around the sewing community. Like anyone who knew someone how to sew, somebody would have one of them and be making them for people who needed them. Because losing your hair, even though you have a serious illness, just losing your hair all by itself is an emotional trauma. And so these are kind of a personal thing, or they would be. So to make yourself feel better, because when you look in the mirror and all of a sudden your hair is all falling out, that would be very traumatic. So having something to put on your hair or on your head would be a way to make it not be so shocking to look in the mirror. I guess what I'm trying to say. I know my mother went through this, and many years ago, and yeah, you just kind of have to try on a bunch of different ones to see which ones suit you. So first I'm going to talk about McCall 6521. The size, this one comes in sizes extra small to large, and it does give the measurements on the back of what an extra small would be. Now, whether it's not the finished size. So if you no longer have hair, the size of your head is going to be smaller, obviously. So which ones did I make? So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different views on this pattern, and I think I did 3. 1, 2, and 3. Yes, I did. Now, one of the views is only a headband, which is rather deceiving. But when you look on the back of the pattern, it does give you, it's just a headband. But the girl in the photo is wearing a ball cap. So that's view A, which is just a headband. So, which is probably to make the hat not scratch your head. So then we have, so I made view C. Well, yes. So I have this head here. So I will show you. So what one am I talking about? View C. Now the picture on the pattern is rather deceiving, and actually I don't believe it's the same pattern at all. There is no way that hat it has two very large pleats. So here's the hat. And if I can get one pleat on here, so I was really disappointed when I made this because I thought the pleats that it shows very clearly in this picture were sewn right into it, and basically it's just it's just a plain hat, and this is a circle. So I thought it was a complete there is no way that's the same hat. It isn't. There's not enough. Now obviously you could make it longer and hand tack pleats in there if you wished, but I just think it's a deceiving picture because there is no way. I don't care what kind of fabric you used, you're not going to get that picture with this pattern. It is impossible without doing some tweaks to it. So I was really disappointed in that one, and I made view F. So I made two of these, and this is probably one of the easiest ones to make. So I made this, and yeah, you would have to physically, now whether that would stay on your head or not, to try and style it, but you can't get too dramatic pleats on there. You just can't. It's not, and it doesn't matter what size you make because the sizes go this way, not that way. So I was really disappointed in the design of that, although it's a very simple hat to make and it's probably really comfortable to wear. The directions were easy to follow for that. And then this one, now it could have been the fabric that I used. This is a pleated fabric, like a spandex. But just the way this fits, I don't know how comfortable it would be. And in the back, there's no room to make it smaller, like to tie it on. Now maybe it would stay on good because of the design of the hat. And I just found the directions were not so great for this view in explaining how to do the pleats. It did turn out, and I think it looks similar to the picture. And I'm not trying to be trashing it. I'm just, this is the second McCall's pattern for a hat pattern that the picture does not go with it's not the same hat. There's just no way. So without doing alterations, which is fine, you can, but if you're buying the pattern to look like the picture, it should be similar. Anyway, it's kind of a minor thing because the rest of them are fine. That was the only one, unless you count view A and the ball cap with the headband. But I think they're just showing you why a headband would be useful. Anyway, so I was disappointed in this one because I just didn't like the way it tied. Like, it does tie, but there's no room for it to be smaller or bigger. It's just, the ties just meet in the back. There's no, I just don't think it would last a long time if you were wearing it every day. And yes, so they just meet up in the back and that's it. I don't think that would last for long-term use. Like, I don't think it would be durable. All right, so then I made View D. I think out of all of them, this would be, I think it would be comfortable for a person to wear, and you can adjust it because this one has elastic in the back. So when you, I don't even really have this tied, but there, see what I mean? There's room to make it smaller or bigger. You could tie it tighter or looser so it would fit the wearer comfortably, because you don't want something that's uncomfortable to wear. And I think that you could adjust this one because you could turn the brim up and I think it would stay, especially if you're unsure of the person's size. So I made extra small. I had lots of creative leeway on making this because the woman that gave them to me, she just said whatever. So that's kind of nice. And I volunteered to do it for her. So I also made a purple one like that. So this one is probably a little more time consuming to make, but this one is the same as the one I just showed you. It's purple and it has that, because if the person was in bed, I don't know about the knot in the back, how comfortable that would be, but you can always untie it. So hopefully this one will be a more comfortable one to wear. So that one is what I think is the best one, is View D, out of the ones I tried. Now I'm going to talk about McCall's 4116, and I did 2 views out of this. But realistically, View B, D, C, and E, I believe, are pretty much the same. And this one came in sizes small to large, and it does give measurements for size small to large, but it doesn't give you finished measurements anywhere, which wouldn't be hard for you to figure out. You would have to measure the pattern pieces to get the size that you would like. So I made small out of these ones, and yes, View B and D, these are the same design, they just have an added feature like a tie or a braid or something like that. View A is another one of those fancy scarf ones, so I didn't try that one. So I made View F and View G. Now, you might think I'm nuts, but View G is very deceiving as well, and there are no drawings on the back to know what it looks like. Now let's see, I have the picture here. I should have had this out already. Now the drawing is not much more. So I'm talking about View G. I think you can see that. It looked like a handkerchief that tied on your head. So I thought I will try that one. Now, out of all of them, this is probably my favorite. But when I went to cut out the pattern pieces, they were very strange. because it's a circle. Here is a circle, which you would not expect out of a handkerchief. And then there's 1, 2, 3 different pieces of fabric here that are sewed like this. Now this one, actually it's probably easier for me to show you this way, so you can see the way it's sewn together. So I was a little taken aback when I seen the design of it, but I actually like this one the best out of all of them, although I'm not going to be wearing them, so. But I think this one would be more to the illusion of having hair, and you could adjust it better. So you could fold that down to make it fit tighter on your head. And you have, there's also the elastic in the back to adjust it a little bit. So I like this one the best. I think this, even though I felt deceived when I seen the picture, and actually you can't tell on the video. I think you can a little bit. But yes, I liked this one the best because it hangs a little bit in the back, lots of room, and I think it has the ability to be more comfortable for the wearer, in my opinion. So, and I also tried, so out of all of them, this one is probably the easiest. You only have a seam in the back, a seam in the front, but I don't know how comfortable, because you put these pleats in the back, and this one probably fits the tightest. So, and I don't know. And you don't have to, so you can adjust the sides a little bit and move it around. And it probably fits the snuggest out of all of them. And it has, so that might be comfortable to lay on if you had to wear it, like if you were in bed. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on these patterns. Yes, I think this one is the easiest out of those. And this one was not too bad. And obviously view D and view B would be very simple to make too, because they would be just 2 pieces, and they're very similar to this. You just have a more slouchy design, so you would have the top, the side, and a rim. And I think these ones, the brim part, it's all one and you just fold it up, so they would be super easy to make. So if you ever have to make these for someone, I hope that helps if you have those patterns. And that's what I've been doing this week. If you ever had to make headscarves, or maybe some people like to wear them all the time as a hat kind of thing, because this one would be, it's like almost like a bonnet, really. I would call it more like a bonnet. So there you have it. Take care, everyone. See you next time. Bye.